6 p.m. in Sanpete, Boya in the southwest region of Cameroon, same time in Bamenda, chief town of the northwest region. Good evening, dear viewers of Equinoxe Television. Thank you so much for joining me on this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast. Our major stories tonight: grief grips Garoua in northern Cameroon as residents bid farewell to Zuhairatu, a primary school teacher whose life was cut short during violent protest over the presidential election results yesterday. Meantime, protests continue today in Garoua, with the population denouncing any form of manipulation of the 2025 presidential election. Away from that, Cameroon's major cities, including Yaoundé, Douala, Garoua, Bafoussam, and Maroua, are under heavy military presence ahead of the proclamation of election results. Soldiers are stationed at street corners, armored vehicles patrol the roads, and new checkpoints have been set up, creating tense atmosphere. Meanwhile, the proclamation of presidential election results have been postponed to October 27th. Those are top stories tonight. The news in full in a jiffy. Thank you so much for choosing Equinoxe Television for presentation. I am Immaculate Fogwe. We begin this newscast in Garoua, northern part of Cameroon, which was plunged this Wednesday into mourning. That is today, Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025, as residents buried Zuhairatu, a primary school teacher who was tragically shot dead while on her way back from school. That was during the post-election protest. We have details with Siri Chakutu.
As Cameroon is in a period of uncertainty and post-electoral tension following the October 12, 2025 presidential election, the city of Garoua, an opposition stronghold in the north region, is the scene of violent protests. It was in this climate that a tragedy claimed the life of Zuhaira, a teacher in that part of the country who died of her injuries in the hospital. According to witnesses, she was not taking part in the demonstrations and was returning home from school when the tragedy occurred.
On m'a appelé qu'il y a eu émeute dans mon quartier et que ma fille a été victime. Quand on m'a appelé, on m'a dit qu'on l'a tirée au bras. Vers les environs de 16 heures, dès que je suis arrivé, la première personne que je croisais en route qui me dit que ta fille est...
This tragedy comes at a time when the security situation in Garoua was already extremely volatile. The protesters expressed their rejection of the provisional result and denounced what they considered electoral fraud, an accusation that fueled popular anger in several neighborhoods across the city. The immediate political context is marked by the claim of victory by both sides, though the official results have not yet been announced.
Now, still talking about the elections, the senior divisional officer of Wuri and Benue have restricted motorcycle movements to maintain order ahead of the proclamation of result of the October 12 presidential election. In the Wuri, the restriction will begin from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., while in the Benue division, the prefectural order restricts movement from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. till further notice. Details with our reporter, Smart Jikan Gabriel.
According to the media release from the office of the Senior Divisional Officer of Wuri, movements of commercial motorbike have been suspended from 6 p.m. this Wednesday until 6 a.m. Thursday morning. The release states that all commercial motorbikes are expected to stop movement in major neighborhoods like Deido, Ndokoti, New Bell, the Central Market, Iassa, Bonaberi, Bonamusadi, Aquano, Mbanya, New Deido, Koto, Nyala, Makepe, Bepanda, Newtown Arioport, Nkolbong, Japoma, and Bange. Mvogo Syriac Marie adds that Thursday, October 23rd, 2025, only those with private commercial motorbike can circulate, while those who ride for business can do that at main junctions getting into a neighborhood and not on the highway. The Senior Divisional Officer of the Menua, Ithoi Peter Mbongo, on his part, has suspended the movement of commercial motorbikes in his zone of jurisdiction on Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. Areas like General Voyage Express, Rondo, Rond-Point Gendarmerie, Johnny Baleng, Rond-Point Gendarmerie, Entrée Campus, Hôtel Addis, Lycée Bilingue du Chang, Centre Climatique, Rond-Point Gendarmerie Rectorat, Lycée Classique du Chang, Palais de Justice, Rondo, Sans Interdit, Platinum, and Place des Fêtes, Chang, won't be open for circulation. The media release of the Senior Divisional Officer of the MENWA also prohibits the sale of petroleum products in gallons. If the Senior Divisional Officers of Wuri and MENWA signed media releases for movements at a specific period, that of the Benue, Umaru Haman Wabi, says circulation of commercial motorbikes in his zone of jurisdiction ends each day at 8 p.m. and resumes the next day by 5 a.m. until further notice. The different media releases to many are disrespecting the rights of Cameroonians.
In the same vein, the Senior Divisional Officer of Wuri Division bans the circulation of commercial motorcycles across Douala from 6 p.m. on Wednesday 22nd till official proclamation of the presidential election results. The strict measure by Silak Mari Vogo has sparked public concerns from Cameroonians who say commercial bikes are the main means of transportation in the economic capital city. Ese Luciliengu compiled their worries and made this report.
Residents of Douala expressing frustration over the decision by the Senior Divisional Officer for the Wuri Division banning the circulation of commercial motorcycles from Wednesday, October 22nd from 6 p.m. till the day of the official release of the presidential election.
Non, le problème c'est que ce quartier n'est pas partout. Même les taxis ne vont pas partout. Bon, c'est ça qui fait la difficulté. Moi, je rentre personnellement à moto chaque soir.
Many say the restriction will make movement to and from work difficult, particularly in neighborhoods where taxis and other vehicles do not easily operate.
It will affect them too much because when you look at the time, in Douala people close work at 5:30. From 5:30, 6 o'clock, you cannot use 1 hour to transport everybody to his house or her house.
The decision, they argue, will also disrupt daily activities and add to the transportation challenges already faced by many.
Now that I'm going, this is not my time that I close my work. I put my work around 5:30, but now I'm going home because I'm afraid that if I close around 5:30, I'm not sure I'm not to get the means to reach my house. So that's why I'm going now, and it's not fair.
Commercial bike riders on their part are worried. They say they are often the direct target of such restrictions. They describe this as unfair, noting that it will directly affect their daily income and livelihoods.
Déjà en journée, ce n'est pas facile. Et à l'heure qu'il interdit déjà, c'est à l'heure là que nous-mêmes on puisse un peu gagner notre pain quotidien.
The government is not supporting the riders for anything. They will not feed our family. I close at times at 9 o'clock, at times I close at 10 o'clock. So it will affect me too much because I will not meet up with my income that I always meet up with. My household, because my children will not feed the way they're supposed to feed.
The ban, according to some, will cause a hike in transportation fare, especially for residents returning home after 8 p.m. Those unable to afford alternative means of transportation may be forced to work for long distances. As the Constitutional Council prepares to announce the official results of the October 12 presidential election on Monday, October 27, residents of Douala hope that the restriction will be lifted to enable them carry out the activities normally.
And amid growing uncertainty, Cameroonians are stockpiling food and essentials. Markets in Douala are now full with anxious shoppers as the country holds its breath for the long-awaited proclamation of presidential election results, as Mala Glory tells us.
Cassava flakes, commonly known as gari or golden greens, was the most valuable item at the Marché des Pommes market in Douala this Wednesday, October 22nd, as many rushed to buy.
We have received more customers, especially those buying gari. There is a really big change. So people have been entering to buy food stuff to stock in their houses. They are really making a lot of sales, especially gari and granite. People have really been buying.
Mami, we no day because country strong. People they buy garo, people say if it bad, they begin carry put on mob the run they go.
Bon, on parle de tabouret parce qu'on peut pas mettre au feu.
Marché des Pommes is one of the markets in Douala known for selling Irish potatoes and other food items such as gari, corn, beans, granules, and vegetables. Due to the growing tension marked by the presidential election results, many have expressed fear and have decided to stock their homes.
To buy and stock in my house because they say that tomorrow
there will not be market tomorrow. That's why I'm here.
Many people are coming to buy in order to stock in their houses, and maybe because they are afraid for what the results of the elections may bring out.
I want to buy beans, fish, gari, Irish potatoes, and all the lights.
However, they complain of the high cost of these food items in the market.
But the price, if I tell you the price of the bag, is unspeakable. And look at this one, it's already rotten, but it's too expensive. So I can say the atmosphere is so tense. And it's an increase of 500 francs, but we're selling at 6,000. But for now, we are selling at 6,500.
While many supply their homes with foodstuff, for fear of the unknown, tensions continue to grow in different parts of the country as they wait for the proclamation of official results of the October 12 presidential elections in Cameroon.
And as a nation awaits the official proclamation of results of the presidential election, the Constitutional Council has been reminded of its duties under the umbrella of Project C, that is the Cameroon Civil Society platform. Cameroonians both at home and abroad have written an open letter to the Council asking it to uphold justice. For greater details, take a listen to a US-based Cameroonian lawyer, Barrister Ray Robinson, interviewed by Babla Jonathan in this excerpt.
Council is not just a rubber stamp. It is not just it doesn't do just clerical work. It's an instance of justice. Article 47 of the Constitution of Cameroon provides a role that the Constitutional Council must play. It cannot just declare results that it knows that are fraudulent. The purpose of the judiciary is to uphold justice. Here, where there is blatant injustice being committed against the will of the people, I ask for the Constitutional Council to review the provisions of Article 47 of the Constitution, and it would clearly tell them that they must not allow these results that we know has been significantly rigged by the various instances. The court must exercise its responsibility not to uphold an injustice perpetrated against the people, because that would be contrary to the very principle on which the court was created. So that's the message that we're sending to the Constitutional Council, to the members of the Constitutional Council. Your responsibility is not ceremonial. It's not just administrative. It's actually upholding justice. So you must ensure that whatever decision comes out of your court, of this Constitutional Council, it is one that is aligned with the will of the people, because you too will be violating Article 3 of the Constitution, which is that the people are the supreme authority in the country.
Barrister Ray Robinson speaking on the microphone of Babila Jonathan. And with just few days left to the official proclamation of results by the President of the Constitutional Council again, tension and anticipation continue to build across the country. Our reporter Mbustela hit the streets of Bamenda, which is a chieftain of the Northwest region, where she compiled the expectations of the people in her report.
Here in Bamenda, conversations about the presidential election results dominate every street corner.
Expecting that the Honorable President of the Constitutional Council should declare exactly what obtained on the 12th of October, which is the will of the people.
My expectations are that the Constitutional Council declares the results that reflects the aspirations of the Cameroonian people, as they turned out massively, taking the engagement in choosing the person who is going to rule this nation for the next 7 years.
While some residents express hope for change, others simply pray for peace no matter the outcome.
As for me, all my hopes are in the hands of God. I place this nation, Cameroon, into the hands of God and let His will be done.
As the clock ticks towards the Constitutional Council's declaration, Bamenda residents remain watchful, hopeful and anxious.
Regardless of the outcome of the results, I hope the next president or the new president. It's going to prioritize national unity, improve on a lot of things like infrastructural development, providing jobs to the Cameroonian youths.
My first priority is to see him solve the Anglophone problem. The Northwesterners, the Southwesterners have suffered a lot. Our immediate problem is the crisis. The president should solve the Northwest crisis, the Northwest-Southwest crisis, so that at least we should have peace.
As the nation awaits the results, many in Bamenda hope that the new mandate could prioritize the Anglophone crisis, a conflict that has caused deaths and displacements.
And the same vein, inhabitants of Boya impatiently waiting for the official proclamation of results of the presidential elections, which they say should be a true reflection of the results of the ballot box. They also reiterate that if the Constitutional Council publishes a result that the people cannot identify with, then it may plunge the already vulnerable country into more chaos, as Rex Afon tells us from Boya.
To the proclamation of the results of the October 12 presidential elections, some inhabitants of Boya hope that at last the truth of the ballot box will prevail.
As a political observer, my expectation is that the Constitutional Council, which is legally charged with the proclamation of the result, should act in all fairness, should act in all sincerity, and I will add that they should act with the fear of God. I want to say that the Constitutional Council, which is an apolitical institution, should stay apolitical.
They also wish that what they saw will be what will be proclaimed officially.
If today a particular system is struggling to perpetrate itself within a setting where the majority of the people no longer want him or no longer want the system, then the days ahead are very pregnant.
With current protests in some parts of the country, the Constitutional Council is asked to extend its legal tentacles to save the country.
We thank God for the other presidential candidates who have been publishing the results that came from the poll. And so the Constitutional Council have a reference now. They can go to those results and verify. They have the legal responsibility to check the veracity of the result that has been presented to them. The eyes of Cameroonians are wide open and they know who they voted for.
For English-speaking Cameroonians, they are advised to avoid acting violently.
Whatever advocacy, whatever lobbying, whatever cries, it should be peaceful. It should not be violent. It should not be destructive, because it is only the innocent people who will suffer. Those of us from the English-speaking regions, we have experienced insecurity. We have experienced, what destruction means.
The anticipation in Boya is high, as everyone hopes the results will reflect the will of the sovereign people of Cameroon.
And now to one of our major lead stories. Security forces remain stationed at major runabouts in the city of Douala, thanks to the proclamation of the October 12 presidential election results. In some neighborhoods in the city of Douala, the population say they feel intimidated and frightened by their presence. Meanwhile, some others say their presence can't intimidate them, as Innocent Aze compiled their views in this report.
Few days to the proclamation of the October 12 presidential election results, denizens in the city of Douala nurse their calm with a major expectation.
C'est le changement que nous voulons dans ce pays.
N'importe qui gagne, qu'il y a le changement, ça va.
Denizens in the city of Douala nurse their calm with a major expectation, being to hear Clement Atangana, president of the Constitutional Council, proclaim Issa Chiroma Bakari the winner, as emerged in majority of the polling stations.
On a voté, non? Bon, maintenant on veut le résultat. Nous on veut la vérité. Nous ne sommes pas là pour faire la bagarre avec la population. Ni les problèmes, ni rien.
On ne veut pas les problèmes, on veut les vrais résultats, Zernin. C'est tout ce qu'on demande.
With Monday being a crucial date, some quarters in Douala have experienced heavy presence of security forces as roundabouts like at Rond-Point École Publique d'Aïdo, Carrefour Casino in New Bell.
Tout le monde est effrayé. Ce matin, je n'ai pas amené mes enfants à l'école. Les enfants me demandent, mais papa, pourquoi il y a les policiers pour partout? Tu peux leur répondre, il y a quoi? Il n'y a rien. Si déjà quelqu'un prend des précautions, il sait ce qu'il a déjà fait ou bien il est en train de vouloir faire.
Similar scenario at Carrefour College Evangelique, still in New Bell.
You can see everywhere that policemen, gendarmes and others, people have that fear in their body. Nobody is calm. We are asking ourselves how it's going to be the following day.
Nous, on a voté notre candidat et on veut le changement, on attend le changement. À qui on a voté, on n'a pas de problème à n'importe qui. On veut notre résultat seulement.
Some persons we spoke to described the presence of these uniformed officers at strategic junctions as attempts to intimidate the population who desire change.
Partout, on veut les policiers, les gendarmes qui nous font un peu les yeux là pour nous influencer. Ils sont là, ils viennent un matin à 6 h. Parfois ils dorment même ici, parfois ils rentrent, ils se changent, parfois les policiers, parfois les gendarmes.
Depuis une semaine que les gendarmes et les policiers sont là dehors. Je ne sais pas si l'intimidation depuis le vote qui sont passés là.
Some say it is useless deploying police and gendarmes at the roundabouts.
S'ils n'avaient pas de mauvaises intentions, eux tous là, ils ne peuvent pas laisser mettre les gendarmes, les policiers partout. Comme on était en guerre, on n'est pas en guerre. Le Cameroun n'est pas en guerre. C'est eux qui veulent mettre le Cameroun en guerre.
They calmly await the results.
La population attend seulement les résultats de leurs candidats qu'ils ont choisis. Mais on ne peut pas avoir peur parce qu'on veut les changements.
At roundabouts in neighborhoods like Bepanda, Ndokoti and Dakar, their presence in the afternoon was insignificant.
Pour le moment, c'est calme. On ne sait pas ce qui va venir après. Là, on remet entre les mains de Dieu le reste là.
A scenario better than in Bonaloka and other areas with no military presence at the roundabouts.
Innocent Aze ending this first part of the news. Talking Point comes up next. My guest tonight is NDIWUM Emmanuel. He is a political analyst. Good evening, NDIWUM Emmanuel. It's a pleasure to have you on Talking Point tonight.
Thank you very much, Immaculate. It's equally a pleasure to be here. And I want to believe that since the campaign period up till the voting date and after the voting date, this is my first time of appearing on Talking Point. So you will permit me to greet the following people. Cabra Libi, Joshua Osi, Tomano Ndamjoya, Bello Buba Magari, Mr. Matumba, and I want to wish them a very good evening and to say very big shame to all of them. Shame to you people for once more failing to listen to the voice of reason from Cameroonians who needed you people's collaboration at a needed time. And I want to insist that shame should go into the history and the archives of all the political party leaders that I've just named here tonight. Thank you for having me.
Quite critical of these political actors involved, labeling their actions as shameful. What drives you to come up with such strong reaction?
We are shaming them because at the time we were asking, all Cameroonians were crying, yearning for change. We even went as far as say, even if it is a stone that we can roll into a 2D, we will respect it. And that if it's a stone, let every candidate rally behind that stone. Some told us, like the SDF, they did not need a coalition to win, and that they were the oldest party. Some told us that their program was the best, and they did not need to mix with any other person. But we were telling them we had just one evil opposite to fight. That was Yahudi. Today, if Cameroonians are going on the streets, the political parties have to bear part of the shame, because if they did not go in their dispersed ranks, I am telling you, just imagine a situation where 11 candidates stood against Pobia. The rigging machinery would not have had the opportunity to do what it is doing. You equally see, and bear with me, some of these parties tabled petitions before the CC, the Constitutional Council, and before 24 hours they withdrew them. We thought it was an opportunity for us to expose the stealing that has happened during this election. I come from Genicom, a place where for 1 month people have not been able to leave their houses and go out. But we were given results without a video, without a picture, that 2,400 and something people voted in Genicom. Whereas the CBDM subsection president for that place resigned because of a scandalous rigging that took place in that part of the country. They just imagine, had all the opposition parties come together and we knew that we were fighting just one person, they would have had no reason to distribute the votes to other persons. You can imagine. So Cameroonians are crying, we are weeping, we are wailing.
Going protests across Cameroon, particularly in light of the tragic incident where a teacher was on her way back home from school and was allegedly shot and killed by a supposed military officer. How do you respond to concerns about escalating violence?
Okay, before I come to that, my sincere condolence to the bereaved family. A student lost a life, a teacher lost a life, shot by the state military, state uniform man. I want to start by this quote, and I think the presidency is following this program. It is far more honorable to lose power while protecting lives than to lose lives while protecting power. It is equally far more honorable to leave power before power leaves you. That said, I want every Cameroonian to take up his or her calculator tonight. Take 47 plus, that is 43 plus 7, will give you half a century. Which means that somebody who has been ruling and wants to rule for half a century is ready to sacrifice Cameroonians on the platter of power to remain there forever. I want to think, and I'm saying this tonight like every other Cameroonian, I will start by calling the government in place to order. Yaya Jammeh tried in the Gambia against his people. We know how it ended. Hosni Mubarak tried in Egypt against his people. We know how it ended. We know the story of Samuel Doe, who was, paraded the streets in a wheelbarrow, naked by his people. We are not praying that such a scenario should reach Cameroon. But then we are saying 43 years has been too much for the people to persevere. And somebody told us to go out and vote immaculate. We went out massively. We voted for change because we have seen a country dying in the hands of one man. If the person wants to insult our vote by taking up guns against the citizens who voted, it means there was no need for the vote to take place in the first place. If somebody wants to say our vote did not count, it means somebody is telling us that there is another way out. If somebody has not learned a lesson that the shooting down of Akum Julius in Bamenda 2017 was the killing of one man that started until date. We don't know the number of people who have died. It means somebody somewhere is ready to sacrifice Cameroon for himself. But then, I want to take this opportunity tonight to appeal to the military. You swore an oath to defend fatherland. You swore an oath to defend the institutions of this country, the sovereign people of Cameroon. It is time to respect your oath. The people have spoken, and when the people speak, it is the voice of God that is speaking. Can we stand up and defend the nation rather than defending an individual?
Now, NDIWUM Emmanuel, the senior divisional officers for Benue and also that of Wuri have issued orders restricting motorcycle circulation at night. That of Wuri, they restricted circulation from 6 p.m. to, I think, 6 a.m. And that of the Benue, he restricted circulation from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning. Do you think all these measures are necessary to maintain order, and will they be effective in preventing further unrest?
And I tell you, again, Immaculate, I am not a preacher of the word of God. When the people of Israel were about to be freed, God sent Moses with a stick, and the confusion within the ranks of Pharaoh were multiplying. These are the confusions that are multiplying. And I will tell you that this is a very good decision. It's a very good decision because it will permit the people to sit and think well for the next strategy. It's a very good decision because frustration is already in their camp, and the people will re-strategize, thinking that banning motorcycles is a strategy. It has failed upon arrival, because what they should be doing at this, somebody somewhere said Real Madrid cannot be playing a match with Cotonspor and you expect Cotonspor to win. Then how come Real Madrid wins a match instead of celebrating with its fans? Real Madrid officials go banning its fans from celebrating. Logically, we have seen elites that will be shaming them again, especially the elites of Northwest and Southwest, who falsified false results to give Mr. Biya a landslide victory. And they know very well that it was fake. We are shaming them again tonight. And we are saying that all what the local administrators are doing now, I am afraid when it is time for change, nothing stands on the way of change. We don't know where it shall start, but we are saying that it is time of God, and the time of God is no longer the time of man. 4 years ago, I said on Equinoxe in this very house, the people of Yaoundé seem to be controlling the watches in their hands, but God is controlling time, and it appears this is the time of God. Because this time around, the people went out to vote, and the people have a right to defend their vote. I will defend my vote because I voted. And I have once said, the only thing that gives you legitimacy to vote, to defend your vote or to speak, is your vote. I voted. Cameroonians voted. Give Cameroonians the opportunity to defend their vote because they are behind their vote and they voted for change. Change that has refused to take place for 43 years. We will not accept that for another 7 years of embezzlement, corruption, tribalism, nepotism. We lost our people on bad roads every day, no electricity, no water. 7 years again, it is too much. Even the people of Israel suffered in Egypt enough, and there was time for them to leave Egypt.
How do you think these restrictions will impact daily life for citizens, particularly those who rely on motorcycles for transportation? And also, on a personal note, how do you plan to get home after this our interview?
I am telling you, when you gave me a call, my response to you was, how do I leave Aqua back to my quarter where I live? And I want to insist, they impoverished us and they made us to become bike riders. Today again, they are refusing us from riding our bikes to feed our families. And remember that a hungry man is an angry man. The more they will restrict these people, the pent-up anger will be there. And you know what happens? There is a time in life, Immaculate, that there's a degree of frustration that defeats the fear of death. And when that moment comes, people are no longer afraid to die. It is better to live one day like a lion than to live 1,000,000 years and die like a coward. I am saying that the Constitutional Council, the territorial administration knows exactly what to do. Do not plunge Cameroon into what will be beyond repairs. Because as of now, before they engage in another war, let me warn tonight, we always know when it starts. We are not praying that it should start, but it has already started. By who? By them. Yesterday, 2 people are already down, gone down by the state militia. We know when it starts, but we can never tell when it will stop. I am praying that Mr. Biya should stencil his name in the golden books of Cameroon history by shaming his haters who wants to use his name and put the country in disarray by refusing this mandate, that it is not my mandate. Let victory be given to whosoever merits, but let it not be imposed on Mr. Biya.
Emmanuel, for accepting my invitation on Talking Point tonight. And that's what put a cap to today's edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for always staying with us. Stay in the company of interesting programs on Equinoxe Television. Bye-bye for now.